Hey guys, you know what time it is. Today I wanted to talk to you about achievements, trophies, and also why I think it's important that Nintendo should have, or I think at this point they're probably never going to do it, but I really think they should have some sort of achievement or trophy list. But before I even get into that reason why they should, I think it's important to explain why I think they hold some validity. Why do they hold some weight? Because, there's a lot of people that disagree with this. The past, decade, all I've heard is pretty much people saying achievements don't mean anything, trophies don't mean anything. Who cares? It's irrelevant. And I find it very baffling because I remember as a kid, and I want to be honest with you. Let's say if you were born in 88, 89, even in that era, which means you would be younger than me, but if you were born even in that era, I still am baffled. People born in that age group that would think achievements don't matter, they're unimportant, who cares? Because I don't think it's a matter so much of caring, but I think it's more of what they could and represent and mean to certain people. For example, going back to the whole when you were a kid thing. So you're playing a game with your buddies, your homies, and you're playing, Street Fighter 2 or whatever, and, people are, your buddies are around and they're like, hey, this is how far I got. How far did you get? And then you're like, oh, I got to this person. I got to Vega. And then there's that one person that's like, I got to Bison. And then there's another person that just out of nowhere says, well, I got to the guy after Bison. And you're like, huh? What? But the thing is, if no one else knows or there's no way to really validate these claims, then it's pretty much just their word. Unless you were nasty like me and you said, hey, come over to my house, show me how you did that thing. You know what I mean? Let's go let's go a round or two in Street Fighter, and Street Fighter World Warrior, or whatever game it is, or even if it was even if we go a little bit more modern from there, Resident Evil or something, and people are claiming, yeah, I got the rocket launcher, or I beat the game under this time. There was no way of knowing those things unless someone took a picture, and people weren't doing that shit back then. If they took a picture and then showed you the picture of their TV, no one was wasting film like that to do a minute claim. So those things, were non-existent. I mean, if someone said something, you would just take them at their word. And to be honest with you, I mean, since video games has always been a part of my life, I had ways, because I was nasty like that. Something was wrong with me. Scratch that. There's still something wrong with me. But the thing is, I would do tests on people, like, especially, I'm not talking about tests like, just for the hell of it, but I'm talking about more of if they said, oh, I did this, I did that, I beat this boss in X amount of time, I'm not even playing, I would sometimes lie, make up a little fib and say, yeah, after that guy, you get to fight the ultimate version of him or whatever. And then I'd see how they respond to that, and some people would just, they would just go to the next level of BSing. And then you'd be like, gotcha, bitch. I just totally made that shit up. Of course, I didn't talk like that back then when I was a kid, but you get the point. You totally get the point. So to me, this whole, like, trophies and achievements, I think it's a beautiful thing, because now there's no need for a long-winded explanation of anything. Everything is there. in your profile or what have you. Everything, every game you've played, how many points you got. In fact, you don't have to say anything to anyone. Your track record speaks for itself, and I love that. I absolutely love that. And the second point I want to make to just about the whole achievement system is that, yeah, like the way I explained it to you, you could take it as a form of bragging rights, but I don't even mean it in that context. I just mean it in the context of, you know, you see what your skill set is. You see what kind of games I play. You see how diverse it is, or you don't see how diverse it is. You see I clearly play fighting games, or I clearly play first-person shooters, whatever it is that you're into, and you see, how many of the points have been tallied for, that whatever game it is. I like that. And like I said, you can match that with, you can kind of tell the people that are into achievements. Like, I have a friend that, I have a male and a female friend that were really heavily into, okay, I started this game, I gotta try to go for the full 1,000. Which, you would think after me discussing this, you would think that I'm an achievement whore. I'm not. I will play the game the way it's intended, and then if I get stuff along the way, I'm like, cool. Then I'll go back after I've completed the game and say, is there any stragglers? Is there anything I can pick up, and snag up before before I'm done with the game. And in some cases, if it's a really amazing game, I'm like, okay, let's do this. We're going to play through this again. We're going to do it again. It's definitely worth it. The quality is there. I had a blast and I'm ready to do it again. But sometimes, there's so many awesome games right now. You don't have time to play through the best one multiple times. And that's just, reality. That's just reality. Now, the second point that I want to make is the way achievements can also be beneficial is, let's say, going back to that same thing. Let's say, or I have one. I'll use a real example. I won't even make up a hypothetical. So here we go. I remember this one guy. I didn't play him in a match or anything, or nothing online. No Halo, no Dead or Alive, no what the hell was I playing back then? Gears of War, no Gears of War, nothing like that. It was just this guy stumbled across me. He added me. I was like, oh, we kind of play a lot of the same games. Hey, and thought it was pretty cool. Just random person on the internet. And then later, he was like, hey, I noticed you played Clive Barker's Jericho. I was like, yeah, man, I thought, I was delightfully surprised by that game, and I actually enjoyed it. I understand it doesn't have a lot of replay value, but, I really enjoyed it, and I'm a fan of Clive Barker, and so he was like, well, there's this area, there's like one achievement I am having absolute trouble getting. And he's like, I just need to know what you did to get past this. And it was one of the there's like maybe 4 achievements where it's like, get through, play this area, the hardest difficulty, no one in the party dies. And it's the game kind of has this system where you're rotating between a team of people. And you kind of take over and play as one of the characters. And I was like, just trying to be honest, I was like, well, the best thing I can tell you is just the people that are low on health, you need to guide them away from the action. And then as soon as, they get close to dying, switch off of them real quick. And then, you just need to hop around really quickly to each people. And I can't remember what else I told him, but because it was pretty fresh when he was talking to me about it, like it was a recent achievement, and also something I was very proud of to get the full 1,000 for that game, and But anyways, he was able to talk to me and to say, "Hey, how did you do this?" And then I'm explaining to him, "This is how I did it. Yeah, you might have to do it. You might have to give it a go, a second try or a third try. You may not get it on your first try." And but I was able to talk and help him through that. I think that's fucking awesome about achievements or trophies, because now you can kind of talk to someone, and then they, and if you're curious about getting a certain achievement or trophy, you have people you can talk to and ask them questions and say, "Hey, I'm impressed that you got this. How did you do it?" And then they can tell you, or and explain how they went about getting it. And I just think that's a cool way. It really does change the way you play certain games. And like I said, it can really change it even more if you look at the achievements before you start the game and then say, "Hey, let's see where, if I can get this while I'm playing through this stage. Let's see if I can not die or whatever." I personally don't like doing achievements that way, just because I want to enjoy the game and be free of distractions. I want to focus on just having fun. And then after that, we can kind of test your mettle, so to speak, And, but yeah, I mean, so those are my reasons for loving achievements and trophies. And that really just boils down to why I think Nintendo needs something like this. Because trophies and achievements, they have changed the way I've played games forever. And like I said, and I'm not even, like I said, the worst. I'm somewhere, I'm probably not in the middle. I'm probably past the middle. I'm close to the end of caring a lot for achievements than I am not caring. So I'm not in the middle. I'm further to the realm of, caring about it. But, I still think, like I said, it has relevance. And it does have meaning, and I think people that are saying that they don't have meaning, that it doesn't have value, I don't think they're looking at it the right way. And of course, I know when people are like, that was a poor choice of words, because this is all subjective, and so actually I retract that statement and saying they're not looking at it the right way. But I think they're angle is more of, because if you break it down into saying it doesn't have meaning, or trophies don't mean anything, or achievements don't have meaning, in that case, fucking video games don't have meaning, okay? You know what I mean? And it really, all of this is subjective. But to me, it totally adds value. It does not detract from anything. That's another point, that it's like this, it could cost a little bit of money. I don't know. Actually, I have no fucking clue on that. But I think that it's not that much trouble. And I left out something. So a lot of people will say that, well, what's the fucking point? Because you're running around, you're playing the game like usual, and you're unlocking achievements. Well, what's the point of that? That's not an achievement then. And I agree with you, except for, keep in mind, there are a lot of people that are like me, that are like the people listening to this, that play through, like, if they start a game, they aim to finish it. But there's a lot of people that don't. So to me, finishing a game, yeah, that's an achievement. You know what I mean? And then if you're playing difficult or challenging games, absolutely completing the 3rd chapter or the 4th chapter or the 5th chapter. Yeah, that's vital. Yeah, that's an achievement. So I really don't, I don't get that, like, getting uptight, like, well, that doesn't have meaning if, you're just completing the first stage. You're doing that, so it doesn't matter. Not necessarily. What if you don't get back to it? You know what I mean? Then yeah, it has meaning. What if it ran you off? What if it's freaking Ninja Gaiden 2? You know what I mean? Those achievements on Ninja Gaiden 2, that's a big fucking deal. Because I ran away from that fucking game. I'm going to keep it real with you. I ran away from it. I would love to go back to Ninja Gaiden 2 one of these days. Maybe like when I'm retired and I'm an old man. I won't mind screaming and losing my mind over, losing a week over a game. But right now, I'm like, man, my time is short, baby, and I want to have fun. I don't want to feel like the certain urge to throw something at my TV. But, yeah. So, anyways, those are the reasons why I think achievements and trophies, why they have value. And like I said, it's if you don't agree with me, that's cool. That's cool. And this is not really, as you can tell, this isn't like an aggressive, like, bring out the pitchforks and, let's go, march at Nintendo of America or Nintendo of Japan and say this is what they're lacking. I also think they're lacking street passes, but maybe I should do a video on that too. Man, I miss street passing, man. I don't know. That makes me sad. It makes me sad. That makes me more sad than them not having achievements, because I think Nintendo was rocking with something. But anyways, that's really going to do it. And like I said, just if you agree, like. If not, leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And one more thing, I really do apologize for this, guys, but in case you didn't notice, there was not an intro to the video, mainly because I did not even have the name of the channel decided. And I also made a couple of other videos before deciding the name of the channel, which it's all good. The name is going to be The Gaming Harbinger. I'm Axiom, aka Ryofu, and just bear with me on this shit. This YouTube stuff is actually... it's a little more froggy than I was expecting. And plus, I'm getting old now, so I'm not learning stuff as fast as I used to. But regardless, I'm going to get through it. I am finding some enjoyment out of this, learning something new and exciting. And I appreciate you guys checking out this video. There'll be more to come in the future. God bless.